I remember hearing a lot about during the Trump presidency how misinformation and fake news was incredibly dangerous. At the time, I mostly just wrote it off because, the media tends to exaggerate and lie about things to get views, so if they're telling you something incredibly dangerous, you usually take it with a slight grain of salt. The resulting outcome of the Kyle Rittenhouse case in Kenosha, Wisconsin has slightly changed my perception about how dangerous misinformation can be. The sheer level of people getting facts wrong about the case, even after the case is concluded, still continues to just absolutely blow my mind. Even people I know in real life who genuinely, a year and a half after the incident that caused the case, still believe things that are blatantly not true and never were true in the first place. There's a lot of different facts and perspectives on this case, and I'll probably go over that in a different video. This video is more about how it was just covered so either poorly or blatantly falsely. I've seen many different news reports that basically sum up the night that the incident happened that caused the trial as white kid crosses state lines with assault rifle to fire into crowd of BLM protesters. And still to this day of recording this video, I still see people who genuinely believe that is what happened, and they see the result of this trial as a huge miscarriage of justice. Again, because they just do not understand the facts of the case. Some of them are willfully ignorant, but other people are, I believe them to be, they don't have bad intent. I believe they've just been lied to, and they believe the lies. In case it wasn't clear, I'll state my position on the case. Kyle did not act in any illegal way, and he completely deserves to be found not guilty. If you disagree with the not guilty verdict, you are entitled to your opinion, but objectively based on the facts, you are just wrong. A huge amount of the misunderstanding I've seen comes from the fact that Wisconsin is a duty to flee state, not a stand your ground state. In stand your ground states like Florida and the very famous case of Trayvon Martin, you do not have to flee. If you feel your life is in danger, you may stand your ground and defend yourself. In a duty to flee state like Wisconsin, you are not able to stand your ground. You must try to flee the scene. If you feel your life is in danger, you can't just stand there and shoot them. You have to try to get away from them. You are only allowed to use self-defense if you do not have any other means of escape and you have reason to believe your life is in danger. So many of the people that disagree with the Rittenhouse verdict that I've seen believe that the people who were attacking him were also acting in self-defense because they thought he was a mass shooter. But again, with the stand your ground versus duty to flee state, if they thought he was a mass shooter and that their lives were in danger, they did not have a right to chase after them. They should have fled the scene. Another very common thing that I see among people who disagree with the verdict is that the first man he shot was completely unarmed, and it's never justified to shoot an unarmed person. Now, typically speaking, it is usually never justified to shoot an unarmed person. The only way you could justify it is if you had reason to believe that even though they were unarmed, your life was still greatly in danger. Now, according to witness testimony, Joseph Rosenbaum threatened to kill Kyle Rittenhouse earlier in that night. He didn't say, "I'm going to beat you, I'm going to hurt you, I'm going to hit you." The exact words he used were, "I'm going to effing kill you." Given this context, I find it extremely easy to see how a jury would believe that if a man threatens to kill you and then chases after you and he takes your gun from you, he might just kill you. So it was not unreasonable for Kyle to fear for his life, even though he was being chased by an unarmed man. In all of the videos, Kyle is attempting to flee the scene, and other people chase and attack him. Even with the argument that the second people that attacked him thought he was a mass shooter and were just trying to take him down, you get back to stand your ground versus duty to flee. If Kyle thought the mob was trying to kill him, he should have ran away, like he is doing on video. If the mob thought Kyle was a mass shooter, they should have ran away, like they did not. Many of them chased after him. There's far more detail than that. That's just a broad overview, but to me, this just strikes me as such an open and shut case. And yet, even after the case is concluded, people still just continue to say things that are objectively not true. I will say I have seen some hope. In some of the Facebook and Twitter discussions I've seen, there were people who originally were against Kyle Rittenhouse that now say they just don't like him as a person, but agree that he should have been found not guilty. So not everyone is completely brainwashed in this way, but there is still a significant amount of people that are, to the fact that it's still quite concerning that the media has the ability to just, how do I put this, just blatantly lie about something and get such a significant portion of the population to believe them. It's weird because the people who watch CNN completely understand how Fox News will lie to people and manipulate its viewers, but don't understand about how it's being done to them. And the same goes for Fox News viewers who completely see, through CNN's lies, but don't see through the own propaganda that they're consuming. I'm really not sure what can be done besides just repeating the truth over and over again. But even with the truth being repeated over and over again, there are still some people who just refuse to see reality for what it is. So, like I said, I'll make a video in the future about the two different perspectives of the Rittenhouse case and how one of them is just completely devolved from reality, and the other one is maybe a bit eccentric and exaggerated, but definitely closer to reality. If you made it this far, thanks for watching and listening. I just had to say something because this is just it's almost maddening just how blatantly people are just believing lies and going with it. Like I said, it's almost maddening.